millions of dollars worth of hype. Nobody expected this. Conor McGregor returned from retirement in one of the biggest UFC events ever. Fans filled the arena. Ticket prices reached nearly 2,000.
The world tuned in to watch. But here's the crazy part. McGregor reportedly walked away with around $40 million, while Max Holloway earned about $3 million. Sounds like a huge win for Conor, right? Not exactly. Because after all the excitement, all the promotion, and all the expectations, the fight was over in just 1 minute. Max Holloway shocked the world by defeating Conor McGregor almost immediately, leaving fans speechless. And the biggest losers? Not Conor. Not Max. It was the people who spent thousands on tickets, and the bettors who placed massive wagers expecting a long, unforgettable fight. Many lost huge amounts of money in just 60 seconds. Still, even after the defeat, McGregor's comeback proved one thing.
After the fight, the conversation wasn't just about the result. It was about everything surrounding the event. Fans started asking whether the hype matched what actually happened inside the octagon. For months, UFC promoted this as one of the biggest comebacks in combat sports history, and expectations reached unbelievable levels. McGregor had been away from competition for years, but his return instantly became one of the most talked about sporting events of the year. Hotels around the arena were fully booked, celebrities filled the front rows, and thousands of fans traveled from different countries just to witness his comeback in person. Many people paid close to $2,000 for a single ticket, believing they were about to watch an unforgettable battle between two elite fighters. Instead, the contest was finished before many fans had even settled into their seats. That unexpected ending also sent shockwaves through the sports betting world. Millions of dollars had reportedly been placed on different outcomes, with many bettors expecting the fight to last several rounds. Some predicted a dramatic McGregor comeback, while others believed Holloway would slowly take control later in the fight. None of those predictions mattered. The result came so quickly that countless betting slips became worthless almost instantly, making this one of the most surprising outcomes many UFC fans have seen in recent years. Despite the loss, one thing became clear. Conor McGregor remains one of the biggest attractions in mixed martial arts. Very few athletes can return after years away and still generate this level of global attention, massive paydays, and record-breaking ticket sales. Meanwhile, Max Holloway didn't just earn another victory. He proved once again why he's considered one of the toughest and most respected fighters in the UFC. Defeating a superstar like McGregor on such a massive stage could become one of the defining moments of his career. Now the biggest discussion inside the MMA world isn't about what happened during that single minute. It's about what happens next. Will McGregor ask for another fight to prove this wasn't the ending he wanted? Or has the UFC entered a completely new era with Max Holloway standing at the center of the spotlight?
Another thing that surprised fans was how different both fighters looked after the fight. Max Holloway appeared calm and confident, almost as if everything had gone according to plan. During the post-fight interviews, he gave credit to his training camp, saying they spent months studying McGregor's style and preparing for every possible situation. McGregor, on the other hand, looked frustrated. After spending years away from competition and putting himself through another intense training camp, this clearly wasn't the comeback he had imagined. Still, many analysts pointed out that one fight doesn't erase everything McGregor has accomplished throughout his career. He's a former two-division UFC champion and one of the biggest stars the sport has ever seen. His legacy was built over many years, not in just 60 seconds. But the UFC moves fast. One unexpected defeat can completely change the conversation. Now fans are debating whether McGregor should immediately ask for another fight or take more time before stepping back into the octagon.
Some believe he still has what it takes to compete with the best in the world, while others think the sport has evolved during his time away. For Max Holloway, this victory could open even bigger opportunities. Defeating one of the most recognizable names in combat sports gives him incredible momentum, and many believe he's now in line for another massive main event. Financially, both fighters leave with impressive paydays, but money wasn't the biggest story. The real headline was how quickly everything changed. Months of promotion, millions spent on advertising, thousands of fans traveling from around the world, and one of the most anticipated fights of the year was decided almost instantly. Now the UFC world is waiting to see how both fighters respond, because sometimes a single minute inside the octagon can completely change the future of two careers.
One question keeps coming up after the fight. Was the pressure simply too much? Think about everything surrounding this event. Conor McGregor wasn't just fighting Max Holloway. He was carrying the expectations of millions of fans who had waited years to see him return. Every press conference, every interview, every training video built even more excitement. The entire MMA world was watching, expecting McGregor to remind everyone why he became one of the biggest stars in UFC history. But inside the octagon, things don't always go according to the script. Max Holloway came into the fight with nothing to lose and everything to gain. He wasn't distracted by the media attention or the enormous spotlight. His only goal was to win, and that's exactly what he did. Many former fighters have said that ring rust is real. No matter how talented you are, spending years away from professional competition changes everything. Timing, reaction speed, confidence, and decision-making all feel different when you're facing a world-class opponent. That doesn't mean McGregor forgot how to fight. It simply shows how difficult it is to return to the highest level after a long break. Meanwhile, Holloway continued proving why experience and consistency matter. While McGregor was preparing for one huge comeback, Holloway had been staying active, fighting elite opponents and improving every part of his game. Now fans are split into two groups. Some believe McGregor deserves another opportunity because one quick loss shouldn't define his return. Others believe this fight marked the beginning of a new chapter in the UFC, with younger and more active fighters taking over the spotlight. Whatever happens next, this fight will always be remembered. Not because it lasted a long time, but because it changed the conversation around two of the biggest names in